Once I had my son, at about maybe past around a month, I was just constantly sad. I was crying, and I had heard of baby blues before, but I knew this was just something different. It was to the point where the sadness just wasn't stopping. I couldn't think clearly. Things just didn't make sense to me. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression as well as postpartum anxiety. And so for me, the depression part was I was really low in mood, really sad, hardly motivated. I couldn't really do a lot. And the depression part was, the way I would describe it is, the anxiety part was, if you go on a roller coaster and then there's that drop, and that drop feeling that you have in your gut where you're really scared and everything just makes you want to throw up, I would have that feeling all day, all night, to the point that sometimes I'd have to be medicated to be able to sleep because the feeling would just linger the entire day and it wouldn't go away. And it got to the point where it got so severe. Between all of that, I wouldn't shower, I could barely take care of myself, I barely existed. And I found the most difficult part in all of that was, on top of the fact that I can't even keep myself functioning, I now was a brand new parent and I had to keep another human being alive and keep them thriving and functioning. And that was the most difficult part of it all, because it wasn't just about one person, but being responsible for another. And then, everybody around me was really scared because they thought, this is not normal. She's no longer even, she's just completely confused. And the good thing about coming to this clinic was that at least I was seeing a physician that specialized in the area. So I felt like when she would give me advice or tell me what to do or put me on a certain medication, I felt like it was from someone who actually, knew all of this, had seen a lot of patients with this. And so it felt a little bit better to take her advice. By about 6 months, when we went on a family vacation, I was lying on a table having a massage, hoping it would, kind of help cheer me up. And I got a thought that said, kill your son, kill your son. And that scared me. I remember running to my mom where my son was, and I said, I had this thought, and my family was obviously scared, but they said, you know what, it's just a thought. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay. I kind of let it go. And then we were back in Calgary, and it was just after New Year's. I was changing my son on the floor on the carpet at my mom's house, and I got up to put away the diaper, and he was on the floor, and I literally had a thought and I lifted my leg, and the thought was, you need to crush his skull with your foot right now and kill this kid. And I was so scared. I literally just dropped everything, moved away from my son. I called my mom and I said, you need to take him. I am going to harm this child somehow. And so she took him. I called my husband. I said, you have to take me to emergency. Something's really, really wrong with me. And I went to the emergency room, and I came to the Foothills Hospital to the emergency, and I saw the nurse. And I just told her, I said, look, something is really wrong with me. I need you to take me in. I don't care if you take my son away forever and I never see him again. I'm going to end up killing him. I'm going to end up killing myself. I need to be put away right now. And she hugged me and she said, it's okay. You don't need to worry. This actually is a disease. This happens. But thank you for coming in and not actually harming your child, because a lot of moms don't realize that, or they're too scared to come in for fear that their children will be taken away. And so they don't do anything about it, and they end up in cases where they harm themselves or their children. It wasn't until September of 2016 where I was fully at the point where I felt completely normal again. And a large part of it, I think, was due to help from the clinic here and Dr. Muhammad. In my case, I was lucky. I had my mom and my 2 sisters and my husband, who were all very supportive. They all, kind of came together to help me feel better. Now, literally, my son is my sole reason for life. Like, my son is the absolute love of my life. Anyone who knows me knows that kid means the world to me. And he loves me more than any other person in the world. And I'm so blessed and lucky to have him. And he's happy, very energetic. Oh my God, some days I'm like, child, calm down a little bit. I have no energy for you. So absolutely brilliant and smart. And he's just a thriving, amazing little boy. And I'm so lucky to have him. Whether you're the person who goes through it, you're the partner or spouse or friend or coworker or family or any of that, at the end of the day, we all came from a woman. At the end of the day, I guarantee you, there's one woman somewhere out there. If you take the time to talk to people and have people share their experience who's gone through something like this. Now, a case like mine where you get depression, anxiety, and psychosis symptoms is very rare. I will say that. It's, you know, psychosis is one of the rarest forms of this, but it happens. So that's why this run is so important. And I really hope me sharing my story helps you guys shed a little bit of light on what it actually feels like to go through this. And hopefully you'll know where your donations are helping.